Hello everybody, this is Mega Gamer here. A little birdie told me that sometimes people think that the supercar lore and story is a little bit convoluted. And I can understand, because we made that we made the first 3 movies in 6th grade. So I completely understand. So what I'm going to do for you guys today is break down the supercar lore and in a better way so that people can understand it. Before Supercar 4 comes out, we start off our story with a trailer. This is the first ever thing that I ever put together for Supercar. And Supercar actually used to just be K'NEX put together as an excuse to ram cars into each other. And we kind of just made a story around that. That Rubik's Cube right there is what, in the Supercar universe, the element of Millennium. Millennium was discovered by Professor Miller as it's a gem that has a unique energy source that he is able to create a synthetic version of to create his supercar, which has guns here, armor here, right? Right. It's like almost like a tank. This is Dr. Miller. Now, I understand. Having 2 characters with the same last name, the only difference being Professor and Doctor, is confusing. What you need to know right now is that Dr. Miller is the bad guy. Dr. Miller is the bad guy. He is responsible for creating a different supercar, but used for an evil things. This is Professor Miller. He created his own synthetic version of Millennium to create his supercar. He found Josh Reed is his full name. He was a military pilot brought in by the government to pilot Professor Miller's supercar to fight against evil. Eventually they have their standoff where Dr. Miller steals the gem and Josh is piloting the supercar. First he gets knocked over, it's a bit rough, but he then shoots a bullet at the evil supercar and knocks the gem off, allowing Professor Miller to go and grab it. Then he tries to finish the job by sending the evil supercar off of a cliff. And that marks the end of Supercar 1. In the trailer to Supercar 2, The Return, we explain that we were protecting the gem that was shattered in the conflict from the last movie from Dr. Miller. The supercar was piloted by Professor Miller because Josh was taken off of the supercar program. He was unable to effectively pilot the supercar, and he damaged it, and was only saved by a young engineer named Naboo and his hovercraft. He was came in here, saved by Naboo's hovercraft, and was taken to lift off. That right there is Naboo. You can see him inside of the car, and this was a behemoth of a thing to make. It is probably the best supercar we could have ever made, and it was piloted by Naboo. While they were having this heartwarming talk, Dr. Miller has stolen the gem. They combined their cars, Supercar and Naboo's car, to make Ultracar. Ultracar is borderline indestructible. It was a very, very good car. In a last-ditch effort to not let Professor Miller get the gem back, the evil Dr. Miller explodes the gem, and we are left on a cliffhanger from Supercar 2. The gem exploding caused a random quantum event to increase the mass of Earth, therefore increasing its gravity, and it draws the sun in closer to the Earth, causing a world-ending event. This is finally where we meet Dion. Dion Fischmesser is a expert hacker and soon-to-be expert supercar driver. He was picked up by Professor Miller after he hacked into some of his servers. The US government was trying to keep it under wraps that the sun was drawing closer to the Earth and that we were going to die. To keep everything calm, Dion found this out and was immediately drawn to help out Professor Miller and the government, while Dr. Miller wanted the sun to crash into the earth, effectively destroying the world. Supercar at one point was destroyed in the battle, completely destroyed. That supercar no longer exists. Dion was able to escape narrowly with his life. The gem was then immediately shot up into the sky by Naboo and exploded again to decrease the Earth's mass and stop the sun from being drawn in and to return everything to its natural orbit. This supercar will never be driven ever again. Regardless on what Supercar 3's name is called, the end. This was not the end for Dion, Professor Miller, or any of the main cast. Unfortunately, though, Dion was out of the job. The government had shut down the supercar program because they thought that supercars were too dangerous. And Millennium was getting out of hand because of the sun. So Dion talked to Professor Miller, and Professor Miller gave him a job working at LA's police department, which is the beginning of our next movie, Pilot. As the years go by, and he slowly disconnects himself from the supercar program, he meets his wife and has a child. He is living the dream as an undercover cop in Los Angeles. This is Ace. Ace is Dion's baby boy. He loves him with all of his heart, but he isn't around him as much as he should be. He is called to the police department to shut down a drug empire. On his way there, he is called by his wife. Ace has gone missing. We have no idea where he went. Dion looks all over the place to find out that his mom is taking him out for a walk. Why this was put in the movie? I have no idea. It was put in the original story, and we decided, screw it, let's do it. The chief of police explains that there are two notorious gangsters that are part of this drug mafia, Antonio and Stabby. Stabby is the one that Dion has to worry about most. But he goes in there headstrong to get those sons of guns. And he goes under the code name Surge. He finds this gangster, Antino, who is different from Antonio, and he makes it damn clear. It's a common mistake, wants to make sure that he is not Antonio. They go in to do the background check on Dion, aka Surge, just to make sure he's not an undercover cop. Dion and his friends already had that covered. Antino goes up to find that Antonio is dead. How could anybody do this to a guy like Tony? He was my dog for real! We are all heartbroken, as you can see. Dion later goes to investigate this drug empire, see what he can find out. But then, another gangster comes up to him and says that the boss wants to talk to him. He calls him his dog. Dion in his head really doesn't like this. But, like any good undercover cop, he bites his tongue. He plays along. The boss wants to see him, and he lets him know that he passed with flying colors. The big boss tells him that he needs to go complete a drug deal. The biggest one ever in history. 100 pounds of marijuana. Disaster strikes when this gangster who is completing the drug deal realizes that Surge isn't Surge. He's an undercover cop who has been found out. So Dion does the only reasonable thing and unloads a full mag into him. As he is running away, because he has been found out, he gets a call from his wife again. Ace has gone missing, and we have no idea where he is. As Dion goes back to look for his son Ace, he is found by Antino, who is not at all happy that he's actually an undercover cop. He points him at gunpoint and says that you ruined all of our plans. As when Dion asks what plans, Antino takes a shot at him, which Dion dodges and shoots back, killing Antino. When Dion finds Ace, he is held at gunpoint by the notorious gangster Stabby, who has no problem shooting babies. Stabby explains that he was supposed to have that job. He was supposed to take it. And Stabby is so mad, he doesn't even realize Dion is an undercover cop. He still thinks that he is Surge. He explains his evil intentions. He is going to shoot Ace and Dion just because Surge took his place. Dion responds promptly by shooting Stabby in the chest, returning Ace and calling in a code 4. Flashback to after the events of Supercar 3, but before Pilot, Dion goes to talk to Professor Miller. Professor Miller explains that the government has shut down the Supercar program, tells him to call in a code 4 if he ever hears anything about Dr. Miller, which leads off into Supercar 4 Code 4 coming out at some point this year. I hope everybody enjoyed that little recap of the Supercar universe as of right now. We are still working on Supercar 4, and it will be coming soon. It will be coming very, very soon. I promise. I promise. We're going to finish filming this month. This month, we're going to finish filming. After that, I just got to finish editing, and we will be good to go. I will be renting a movie theater for Supercar 4 Code 4, which we will then, before the movie starts, watch all the other supercars and Pilot, um, and give a little recap for people who either haven't kept up with the lore or haven't watched this video. Um, we will kind of be doing it like in person. Me and the co-creator Lane Miller will be doing it in front of an audience. So with both of us there, we should be able to explain it a lot better, maybe even better than I did here. But I hope you guys had a good time watching and learned a little bit of something about Supercar, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.